environmental educator as well. And I've also, for 28 years, been involved in shaman experiences throughout the world. I said, okay, that's what I have to do. So what happened was, all of a sudden, about a half an hour later, three police officers come. They say to me, "Well, what are you doing here?" So I said, "Well, I'm teaching a course called Spirituality of the Environment over these next 4 days." I kind of took a. You could always lie in a creative way. I mean, that's what I would like to do. You know, like you're saying, right? My intention is to do that teaching. So I just kind of was speaking of the future. I wasn't lying. I was speaking of the future in the present moment, let's say. So, at any rate, they asked me for my identification. They found out that I don't have a Stony Brook ID. So,
Small problem.
small, it's going to be a minor problem, Scott. So I have no ID. I have nothing here, you know. But the Earth wants me here. The energy in the Earth wants me here. So, as I'm sitting there wondering what they're going to do, one police officer calls the main campus trying to check me out, or whoever he was calling. Another police officer called the dean's office, and I said, "Oh man, no, I can't believe this." So I'm trying to figure out the next thing to say, and I hear the police officer say to the dean, "I hope this is not interfering with your day." Oh, I'm sorry, it is interfering. You know, okay, just a moment. You know, we have a Peter Maniscalco here, and he says that he's doing blah blah blah, and it's okay for him to be here. Okay, all right, okay, and the energy shifted, transformed immediately. From they had come here to remove me or ask me to leave or whatever, and in that one moment, by my not panicking once again, just trying to stay present in the moment with them, it shifted to, okay, well, they say, we're sorry for bothering you, you know, blah blah blah, and they left. And so that moment always comes in experiences like this, where there's a test, and I said to Scott earlier, there's no, you're in or you're out. There's in these moments, there's no middle ground. And I was willing and offer myself for something I deeply believe in, and because of that, the energy worked, and that didn't have to happen. And so I'm very grateful that I'm here with you this evening, rather than sitting in jail.
And grateful for the dean.
And grateful for the dean, who apparently has made a transformation, which is just, it is so wonderful to see this happen. It's just great. So we have a new ally, and now, and when we do these experiences, it's so pure and innocent. It calls forth the deepest part of other people's nature, and they're able to act from that deep, loving space that we all have inside us. And so, as you grow in your lives, however life is going to call you, I hope you remember this moment that the few of us share together, so that you can find that inner strength, that inner power in yourself, where you can do things that are truly magical and will transform the society. And that's what's going to lead us to sustainability from my point of view. All right, so why don't we all, you know, if you want to speak on the issue of fear and courage. Well, let me say, when I was frightened to die, and the courage was only for me to stay in the moment, I would suggest to you that fear has an energy and courage has a more intense energy. And when they mix together, they produce a third force, which is the solution to whatever the problem is. So if you look at fear as a door, it has the face of a monster. But when we have the courage to go through the door and we look back, it has a smiling face, a joyous face, because we never could have grown as humans without going through that doorway, without facing our fear. The fear is there basically to help us grow as humans if we have the courage to confront it. So now we have lit this fire in a sacred way. The fire is aware of that and wants to be helpful. And let me, there are certain things I can do and certain things that I clearly can't do. And when one works with these natural elements, it's very important to what's called stay behind the energy or stay behind the power. Don't ever claim to do more than we can do. Never get in front of the power. It's a very, very important lesson, so that we don't trip over ourselves and we don't make mistakes, because it's the energy of the universe itself that is the power. There's no human being has the power. It's the power flowing through that person. So, having said that, there are two elements of the fire that I am allowed to work with. One is the destructive element of the fire, and the other is see that? The fire says okay. The other is the light of the fire. It's just so important in today's world. When we were talking about fear earlier, we live in a time of fear. People are trying to make us afraid of all kinds of different things. And it's important as best we can, and it's easiest when we're in a circle together, if we hold hands together and support each other to overcome the fear. We're going through very challenging times, and we have to find creative ways to overcome fear, so that we don't get in, give in to that, and end up in a worse place. We want to move in a loving direction, away from fear. All right, now, what we're going to do now is a shamanic drumming experience. And with everything in the world is connected. We are, in some sense, not in some, we are actually the universe in the form of a human being. And so everything that came before us in this universe is part of us. From the water to the trees to the birds, fish, the sky, the earth. So that's all part of our genetic coding. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play this drum, and it's the most gentle way that I know of to introduce you